Today's sponsor is Encore Live, Sarasota Bradenton's #1 destination for live entertainment. John Santi, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
Today is officially designated as John Santi Day here at the Mokshu Studios in beautiful downtown Sarasota.
Take that.
So I've been doing this show for close to 2 years now, and we were talking in the green room about all these wonderful guests I've had on. You're a great musician, and we're going to dig into all that. But it's cool for me because like I get to meet different people. Like like you and I are going to really get to know each other in these 60 minutes.
Cool.
Also, and without tooting my horn too much, this is going to make you famous, bro, because you're going to be out, you're going to be in Publix, and people are going to say, "Aren't you Jay Santi, the guy that was on the podcast show with K-Rock?" Next thing you know, you're going to have fame. No, first you're going to get the money, then you're going to get the power, then you're going to get the women.
I thought it was respect. I thought it was money back. Oh, that's just Puff Daddy?
No, you know what? You'll get the respect once you get all the money and the power. I was doing Tony Montana.
Yeah.
Remember that?
That's right.
The world is
Old
yours.
school. Yeah. The world is yours. That's right.
So anyway, welcome.
Thanks, man.
So where are you from originally?
I was born and raised on Long Island and lived in New York, various places of New York up until 5 years ago. Just over 5 years ago. My mother's Sicilian. She was born in the Bronx. Actually, she was born in Manhattan, but whatever. And my father is Chilean, Spanish, Puerto Rican, French.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of Latin.
Yeah.
That could be a next song title for you. A lot of Latin.
A lot of Latin. That's it. It's my next band.
So
name.
did you consider yourself to be raised Italian? Because my father's German and my name is Keenly, but I was raised by an Italian mother. Her name was DiGliamo. So I consider myself to be Italian, even though Kurt Keenly is a very German.
DiGliamo. That's a good name.
I know, dude.
Wow. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I do. I feel connected to both, because honestly, my mother, she's a bad woman. She's not, you don't mess with mama. You don't mess with Mama Santi,
Well,
but
Sicilian.
We didn't have as much of her family in the picture as I did my father's for various reasons. And, basically her Uncle Dom, Uncle Dom was like kind of my grandfather figure on my mom's side. And that's really, he was the closest, he was the one that was around. And on my father's side, I had my aunt, I had my uncles, I had my two aunts that were his sisters and their significant others. And then, my grandmother was around, my grandfather was around, but I didn't have grandparents and that on my mom's side, which is a little bit longer of a story. But mom, every Sunday we were home for, pasta and gravy. So,
one of the things I like about you, and there's going to be a lot of things we're going to talk about that I like about you, is you're very New York.
I'll take
You
that.
look New York, you act New York, your mannerisms are New York. You know what I'm saying? And I enjoy that. You know what? I love being around New Yorkers, dude, because like I've kind of lost that New Yorkness to me. Like
I don't think that's true.
you know what I'm saying?
I'll say that right now.
Like I think a lot of my friends are from New England here in the Midwest. And I kind of when I go back, I start talking differently and I start getting more like, with an attitude and an edge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But down here I'm more laid back. I guess that's a good thing, but Florida will do that to you, right?
I guess, I think just, I don't know what it is, man. There's city life and then there's everything else. Well, there's New York City life and then there's everything else.
So the cool thing about you, man, just like me in Westchester County, is that I was able to get into Manhattan really easy.
Yeah.
So all through high school and college, I was able to hop on a train and go down and see some really good shows, go buy records,
right? Yeah.
CDs and all that stuff, and get some of the best pizza. We were talking about bread and pizza earlier.
I did try to get you. I went to 2 places today. We don't have to talk about it now, but you said Italian bread, and I was literally ready to show up with Italian bread. But Piccolo's was closed, and then the place around the corner. Yeah, Piccolo's is good.
I was there Sunday.
Their semolina bread, they got some good. They got a good loaf.
Great. The owners are a young couple and the good people.
Yeah, and they just took it over. They're from Jersey, I think, right?
So they took it over from like a guy named Sergio, and he took it over from a woman that used to sing in my band part time.
Nice.
So that it's changed hands a few times, but the sauce is still very good. The sliced pizza is like so underrated. Nobody knows they do sliced pizza there. It's fucking delicious.
I have not had their pizza. I will actually do that.
And it's just an old school, Italian style. See, the good thing about New York, dude, we had the best. We had Italian delis, you had your Jewish delis, and you had your German delis. Am I right?
You are. And Polish delis were really good too.
And you can get, the best sandwiches and pasta salads, macaroni salads, coleslaw, like everything's fresh made. I mean, the bread. So here's the thing. So I was talking to the owner of Jersey Girl Bagels. Have you been there yet?
I have, yeah,
Okay.
over in UTC.
Yeah, there's a second location now in Parish, and I think a third coming.
Did
So
not
I met
know.
with the owner, Kim, sweet harbor lady, and we are talking about how her bagels are so very authentic, like New York City.
Cool.
And the water, it's like, you know what I think is a bunch of hogwash when people claim, and she doesn't do this, but some people claim they import the water from New York. That's a bunch of bullshit.
I know, like, that's a big thing in Ybor City, right? I've heard that a
You know
lot
how
up there.
expensive that would be to truck down water? Am I right?
I mean, I would imagine so.
With the price of gas being
Yeah.
what it is?
Yeah, I would imagine
I
that's
mean, you're
correct.
better off buying a home pH kit and just like manipulating your current filtered water
Yeah.
to give it some more mineral or whatever the fuck you need.
Yeah, yeah. I agree.
But New York City always won best tasting water because it came straight from the mountains. And every municipality has to filter their water for the drinking consumption, with fluoride and whatever. But there was just a different kind of mineral content, and it just tasted different.
Yeah.
And then I first moved to Florida, the water had sulfur content.
Yep.
And it smelled even
Like
when
eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
But don't you agree that, when you come down here and you're trying to find authentic Italian food and bread, you want to find something that's as close as New York as possible, and it's not easy. I mean, you could probably find something. I think Napoli has got really good pizza. What do you like?
I mean, you kinda you typecasted me, Kurt. I do like to get as close to the comfort of home as possible when it comes to my Italian food. So Capo Pazzo is
Yes,
my pizza
I heard
spot.
about
I
that.
love Capo Pazzo. They're great. I can't lie though. If it's not like, I love pizza. So it doesn't have to taste like New York pizza, but when I'm like, I want that comfort of home, that's where I go, is Capo Pazzo. But Roman SRQ is really good. I like Rico's Pizza. I really like Lenny's Pizza on Siesta Key. I asked them to make my pizza extra
I haven't gone
crispy.
there yet.
So it's not like a New York slice, but I say to them, make my pie extra crispy, almost burnt. And they do it right every time. And
Oh
it's
my
like,
God.
and you could pick the whole slice up and it stays. And then you get a nice crunch bottom. I like that. It kind of reminds me of like Elio's Pizza or something.
You
like
just
that.
reminded me of a Detroit style place called
Mm.
Trelio's.
I haven't been there yet. I heard it's great.
Dude, it's crunchy. It's like a crunchy pizza. It's
Yeah, gotta
delicious.
get that. I love good crunch.
Because my buddy from Michigan, shout out to the 313,
Yeah.
he turned me onto it. And I think down here, the chain is called Jets down here. They do
Oh,
like
yeah.
Detroit style square pizza.
Right. Yeah. I haven't had theirs, but
So let's talk about music because I'm starting to get hungry now.
yeah, me too. I know. It's time for
So your name is John, but people call you Jay Santi. You have an album here I want to talk about. So you're a very accomplished singer, songwriter, guitarist, and you put together a record, which is fantastic. I wish I had a record player so I can actually play it,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe one day I'll aspire to buy one.
Hey, Walmart, man.
You know?
They're inexpensive at Walmart.
But let's talk about this record because you made this record. I'm currently working with the same studio, and I'll talk about what I got going on later. But Baysound Studios in Sarasota.
mm-hmm.
Bob Frank and Bud Snyder, two of the best engineers in the area.
Mm-hmm.
The owner's a great guy too, George.
He's
Great
phenomenal.
guy.
He's amazing.
So let's go through these tracks, man. So the first cut is called "When Love Goes Wrong." Tell us about that song.
Yeah, well, I came down here from New York, and honestly, a week before quarantine happened, I got a phone call because I used to run a nightclub concert venue in Manhattan, and we had to work real closely with the precinct frequently. And I got a phone call, and it was like, "Hey, man, they're talking about closing bridges and tunnels." From a buddy of mine on the force, and I was like,
Because of COVID?
"Yeah."
Fuck.
Because a week before quarantine, remember
Christ.
so the conversations that were going on were like, we might have to close bridges and tunnels. People aren't going to be blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no fucking way for me. Right. So I grabbed my girlfriend at the time, convinced her, which took some convincing, which in retrospect, maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe we'd still even be together. Who knows? But convinced her to get in the car. We went up to Rhode Island, saw her family, and then beelined it down here. Because, I mean, just between you and I, I'm John J. Santiago the fourth. My father has, my thought was that this was political, and I was not going to be sitting on an island like a sitting duck for like another 9/11 to happen.
So
or something like that.
you were a lion, not a sheep.
Sure. Yeah, I guess. I think I was reacting. I just reacted with, I thought I was on silent. Oh my god.
Did they make you take the shot, dude? Did they jab you?
No, I did not take the shot. I refused the shot. I went back to New York after 10 weeks of being here and I was there for all of 48 hours, and immediately decided that I was putting everything in storage and coming back. So and that was really difficult for me, and I kind of went through it emotionally and mentally in a pretty harsh way. Anyway, fast forward through all that, right? Then I come back here after all that went down, which there's a lot more in that story, of course. And I get back here and I kind of have my tail between my legs. I was heartbroken what happened between me and, my ex or couple exes now. But um and I really thought that that was it. I was like, all right, even though I'll be quite honest, it was a toxic relationship, but I was like, I don't care. Like, I think this is
Well,
where I'm gonna be.
at the
And I came
time,
down and
yeah.
love went wrong. And I had I had a slow blues song inside of me, and that's
Yeah,
exactly
I
what
mean, I
that
think a
was.
lot of the greatest artists in the histories of man has written the songs about love and loss, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like since we were in the cave, right?
Yeah.
Sex in my whiskey.
So that's an older song too. And that song's about being with somebody on their bathroom floor and almost getting caught. And like after the fact, I was like, what if I had gotten caught? What if we had gotten caught? You know
Like,
what
so
I
you were
mean?
basically having sex on a bathroom floor, and somebody could have walked in,
And someone
like
someone someone did walk
a
into
public place.
someone walked into the house, not a public place.
Oh,
It was in their house.
like a
And
party, like a house party.
sure. No, nobody was supposed to be home and nobody was supposed to be coming
Oh, I
home.
see what you're saying. You thought you
So
were private.
we thought we were private, and then someone came home, and we did not want to be caught by said someone or known to be in the bathroom together by said someone. So in the aftermath of that experience, and I wrote the song like 20 years ago. I was 22, I think maybe 23 when I wrote that. Actually, no, probably younger, 21 maybe. And in the aftermath, I was like, well, what am I going to say? Like, what if we get caught? What would I say? So I was like,
It was an accident.
she slipped some sex in my whiskey last night. It's
Yeah.
not my fault. You know what I mean?
I like that.
Like it's kind of like a joke on a roofie, but
Yeah.
it's not
I
real
think it's
at
a
all.
clever title. Now, Stevie Ray Vaughan is somebody who I love and adore. I got a chance to see him when he used to come and open up for Greg Allman. I think it was 2 years in a row he did the pier down in Manhattan.
Yeah, yeah.
Was it Pier 17?
I,
Wasn't it?
I was not around for that.
Um,
I was still a wee
yeah.
little one.
Yeah, I guess I'm dating myself. I'm always the oldest guy on this show. Why is that? All my guests are younger than me. Couldn't Stand the Weather is that from his second album, dude. It's such a great song.
It is.
Down, down, down.
One of the funkiest things he
Down,
did.
down,
Yeah.
Down,
Yeah,
right?
there you go. Yeah, yeah. Got the hitch.
We
and
do
all.
Pride and Joy. We cover that.
Yeah, I heard you guys do it the
well,
other night
It was the
with
first
Julia.
time we did it. But anyway, tell me about why you chose that.
So, and also, Sex in My Whiskey is actually my personal homage to Stevie Ray Vaughan. When you hear the song, it sounds like Stevie Ray could have written it, if you ask me.
Cool.
I mean, I did
So
not try to solo
You
on
can
top
play
of
with
it.
that kind of ferocity.
Oh, yeah.
You really bend those strings, man. And
Oh,
rip it up?
yeah.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Very
I
cool.
definitely bend, and I think the only thing that makes me any good is that I play with a lot of passion.
Yeah.
I'm not the wisest or most mentally capable musician. Like, I'm not going to go out and be playing some cool Charlie Parker jazz stuff as much as I would love to. I grew up playing the trumpet. It's just not who I am, but I will play the shit out of a guitar.
You know what you should do? We do a lot of these seafood festivals. Next season, you should come up and jam with us, man.
I would love
We'll
to.
bring
Yeah.
you bring you as a special guest.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We'll let you go nuts.
I'd love to play with y'all. Yeah.
Wings.
Wings. That's just a song about kind of telling a different ex to like kind of take my broken wings, put them on your back, and bye bye now. It's just like a farewell song, kind of.
I'll be good to you.
That's for whoever I wind up with.
So that's basically a love song. Was it safe to say?
Sort of. It's just like, if you're good to me, I'll be good to
Okay.
you. Like, it's kind of just straight up reciprocity.
You know what? It sounds like a Bon Jovi title. I'll be there for you.
Nice.
Conversations.
Conversations. The original title for Conversations was Conversations with My Mirror. And the main hook of Conversations is, won't you call me on my bullshit? And it was just me talking to myself like, you need to get it together. I was going a little crazy for a while, and towards the end of my stay in New York City, and partying hard. And
How old are you now?
I'm 41.
So is it safe to say that you've changed a lot? Like you've matured? Like I know when I hit 50, I stopped being the asshole that I was in my 30s and 40s.
I would say that I have been on that journey for the past probably 8 years, but really doing a better job of it over the past 2.
Yeah. There's something about living down here, dude, that you're out of that element. Like I was in an element where everybody had what was, everybody was partying, leave it at that. And it was very accessible.
Mhm.
And and it was
Yeah, yeah.
it was nuts.
There's nothing wrong with it, but every person I think has to come to a certain point where they decide if it's doing them good or not.
You know what that usually happens is when your doctor tells you you're gonna die
Yeah.
unless you lose
That's
some
not
weight
for
and
me.
take these
So.
fucking drugs.
Right. Yeah. I don't want someone else to make those
Kiss
decisions
by
for me.
Prince.
That should go without saying.
Well, look, here's the deal. Prince was a genius. We covered 2 Prince songs, "Let's Go Crazy" and "Purple Rain." I like to. I think Kiss it's got a good beat. You know
Okay.
what
So
I'm saying?
here's the thing, right? So couldn't stand the weather. We covered, and it's very close to the original. Now Kiss we covered, and it sounds like a Stevie Ray Vaughan riff.
So you
So we amped it up.
Gotcha.
It's much different than the
you
original.
rocked it out.
Yeah, it's much
It's a
different
pop
than the
song,
original.
and now it's a rock song.
Right. Yeah.
Very cool. Different.
Oh, the song.
Yeah.
I thought you meant that I did Kiss.
I'm on
Different.
song number 8.
Never mind. I'm just kidding. Yeah, that song's just about wishing that things had gone a little differently with that ex when I came down. I wrote that one. I think the same day that I wrote When Love Goes Wrong. I might have. Oh no, not the same day, but definitely within the same few weeks. I wrote that song.
And then your
yeah.
final track on here is track 9. Do you think? Question mark.
Right.
Do you think? Is it like? Do you think? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
You mean?
It's, do you think you want to be my lover? Do you think you want to feel tonight? Or like the lyrics. And it's just I met somebody down here and we had like 3 days where we were just like together and kind of driving around. I got a van, I got a van down here, and we just really felt very connected. And she had to leave. We knew she had to leave like when we met. That she was leaving in like a week and a half, and it was just like, well, let's just we did what we could while we could, and
Well, that's kind of cool. I
Yeah.
mean, look, here's the deal. All these women are giving you inspiration to write these songs, dude.
I love.
So
Yeah,
they're all going to get a royalty when you become famous.
So I don't know. We could talk about it with my
So
lawyer
how do people buy this record?
right now.
Yeah.
Strictly with me. But jsantimusic.com will have it for sale over the summer, and we're hosting our record release party in
Can you
October.
show the viewers your box of records? I think it's pretty brilliant.
You like that?
Yeah.
All right, we got a box. This is what I carry around in my gigs now.
Yeah, turn it for that camera so that camera can see it. Yeah. That's pretty.
Ah.
It's pretty. I like it. How many could fit in there, you think?
I think it's about 35.
So 35 records.
Ah,
So
you
people
see
can
it?
pay you cash. Could they do debit?
They can pay cash. They can
Like
pay
Venmo and shit like
They
that?
can pay with card. I have like a card processor through my website, which is Wix, so I can take out my phone and
Yeah, man. That's very
process it
cool.
right on there. Yeah,
You're a pro at this.
I'm getting there. I wouldn't say I'm a pro, but I'm certainly
Well,
learning
now
a
that
lot.
you know the K-Rock, I'm going to see what I can do to help you.
Oh, thanks.
So
bro.
I want to thank you for the shirt. You gave me a shirt. That's not the one you gave me.
That's a Jay Santi shirt. Yeah, that's my Jay Santi logo there. And that's the Vital Groove.
Nice quality shirt too, dude. It's like a thick.
Yeah.
It's not going to blow up in the washing machine.
No, yeah, it should
Thank,
last.
Thank you for that shirt, man.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure.
I want to encourage other guests to give me gifts when they come on. You're like the only one that's done it. So
I'm the only one.
got
I even tried to
stickers.
bring you bread, bro.
we got stickers, man.
So this is cool because Siesta Key Music Scene, the Facebook page or the group. There's a group and a page, I think. My buddy Raul, he made this, and that's my face. And then
So I take it you had a full beard at some point.
so I had really when he made that, I just had the handlebar mustache, which is like what's on the
Right.
cover there. Yeah, I'll probably have it again in another 3 weeks. My facial hair changes every like once a month, basically.
So are you considered clean shaven right now?
Right now I'm pretty close to clean shaven.
Okay.
Just got these little chops.
you-
I'm
you
trying
do-
to
you
grow
do a
my
little
hair out.
Godsmack thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to grow my hair out. So like I'm trying to work with what's happening, and it's not really working. But I'm
When
whatever.
you're on, what's your attire on stage, man? Are you like sandals and shorts, like flip flops? Are you getting dressed up?
No, I'm just about always in boots. I'm one of these guys who I worked for Tommy Hilfiger and Andy Hilfiger and Betsy Hilfiger for 5 years.
No shit.
Yeah, and although I didn't see them daily, right? I worked with their kind of management team and their styling team for a while. That was when I was in grad school. I lived in Westchester, actually. That was at the Westchester Mall.
Okay, I know.
Yeah. So, and they lived right there in Greenwich, Connecticut. So they were there constantly. But this woman, Elaine De La Rosa, looked at me one day, and I just started grad school, and she said, "You're a musician. You call yourself a guitarist, and you dress like that. and she just for the next 3 years of my life taught me how to
That's so cool, dude.
how to present myself in
I
a
wish I
manner
had
that
someone that could do that to me,
matters,
man.
Yeah, it's cool.
I always wear the same stupid shit.
I really came to love fashion, but the first thing she showed me was she pulled out a magazine and it was Prince. And she's like, "That looks like a musician."
Yeah, but that's a little bit. Don't you think he was a little too much eccentric?
No,
The puffy
I don't think.
shirts.
I mean, I have chosen to kind of fall somewhere, you know, not as extreme, but I don't think anything's too much,
So
So
appearance is important to you. When you put on a show, you want to look good. You want to do a good
yeah,
show.
or I want to at least look like, like I'm entertaining. I'm here to
You're a serious guy.
to be entertaining.
It's funny because when we're collecting money from the venues, right? Our attitude, our appearance, showing up early, putting on a proper show, right? That all adds up because at the end of the day, when I ask for somebody if I can get an extra 100 or two, I can justify it because we have a great production.
Yeah.
We're proper musicians. We have people come in and now and hoot and holler and dance. So it's like it's all part of the plan, dude. You know what I'm saying? And it's I think it's just the maturation or maybe the evolution of a musician as we
Mhm.
get older. You start caring more about those things. Like it's all about the fans now. I mean, I tell everybody on the show, if I had my way, I'd be in a Van Halen tribute band.
Oh, that's
But I
cool.
realized
Nice.
that, that's not gonna work, man. I'm not gonna, get gigs and get paid,
You
and
think? I feel like you
so
would
we so
actually.
we play well, I mean, there is one that's very good called Completely Unchained. And those cats, they're from New York and they come down here and they just like they hit it, like
Yeah, they got
they
like a
plan it
circuit.
out. So yeah, there's already one of those. I mean, you can't have more than one Van Halen. For some reason, there's a lot of Journey tributes. There's a couple Aerosmiths,
Mhm.
right? But there's only one Van Halen that I know about.
Cool.
But when you get to know a place called Twisted Fork and now Encore Live, you're gonna start seeing a lot of really good tribute acts going through these places
Makes sense.
because there's a big stage with proper sound.
Mhm.
So any band could come down, hit Encore Live, do a show, and then the next day go down. It's an hour drive south and hit Port Charlotte.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Lots of tribute bands here. Um, Not so much blues. There's a couple of really good blues guys. Do you know Damon Fowler, Sean Chambers, those cats?
Not personally, but yeah.
Yeah. So they are very accomplished where they actually go overseas. Like Sean Chambers, him and I are friends, and
Mhm.
he goes overseas, man, and they go crazy over American blues over there.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like he goes to Germany and tours through there and shit. And he has a van and he has to lug his Hammond B3
Oh
and
my
go,
god. Yeah.
right?
Can only imagine lugging that thing around.
So let's
Jesus.
go back to the basics, man. When was the first time you had a guitar in your hand and what were you listening to?
I was actually the first time I had a guitar in my hand, I was 16 years old. I went to Shoreham Wading River High School and I was at the music-a-thon. I told you I grew up playing trumpet. So I was in jazz band and in concert band in high school.
And what's looking back on that, was there a benefit to doing that? Has that helped you later in your career in music?
I would imagine so. I mean, it certainly it trained my ear,
Right?
especially because I wasn't very good reading music. I
Right.
wasn't great at it.
But you have to, when you play trumpet, you have to read, you have to learn how to read.
You know?
You can take these broken wings I tried to ride. Yes, you can strap them on your back and learn to fly away. Well, I said, baby, come on.
But I was sitting at the music-a-thon, which was 24 hours of straight music, and it was a fundraiser that I was a part of, and a whole bunch of my friends were a part of. And it was like we were in the music room, and for every single moment of that 24 hours, someone was playing music. There was not to be any silence or non-music moment, right? And we were out in the hallway, and my buddy, who actually I'm going to France in June to reconnect with again, who I haven't seen, we recorded a project, right as the pandemic hit, of course, called Prince Pauper, and it's all like electronic mixed with blues and live instrumentation. And I'm going out to France to work with him again, uh, and he's the first person who ever put a guitar in my hand, and he taught me. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. And like, I was
So
pretty,
would you say you're a blues man Like, do you consider yourself a blues man? Like, is that your first love and passion, blues?
I can't call myself a blues man, but or a proper bluesman per se,
Well,
right?
not like,
But
you're not like an 80-year-old black man on the Mississippi Delta.
right.
But what I'm saying is, you got the blues in you, man. Like,
But
you,
I'm not like a
you
traditionalist.
can take Stevie Ray Vaughan cover songs and you can transcribe that attitude out to the audience, right?
I can tell you that that blues music has spoken to me most prevalently in my life. And I picked up the guitar because I was a singer in a band, and the bass player punched the guitarist in the face and threw him down a flight of
Live?
stairs.
In the middle of a show.
No, I mean, I wish there were stairs on our shows. No, it was at a house, and I learned about it the next day. I wasn't even there. And I was like, does this mean we don't have a band anymore? You know, like, do I not get to write lyrics and sing songs anymore? And they were like, pretty much, you know? So I was like, oh, shit. All right, I guess I got to get a guitar and learn how to, write songs for myself, because it was therapeutic for me. It was a big deal at that time in my life that I needed it. Like, I was writing all
So
the time.
you were doing writing and originals more so than covers back then?
Pretty much my whole entire life until I moved to Florida.
No shit.
Yeah, I really did not start learning covers and doing
I mean,
any
down
cover
here,
gigs.
covers are going to pay the bills down here. I mean, that's just the way it is. But
Yeah.
but having originals, I mean, writing originals is great. That's fantastic.
I mean, I'm an artist. I'm not a musician. That's how I look at it. I'm an artist. I'm a creator. I'm not as accomplished as a musician as 99% of the guys that are playing cover music around here that can listen to a song and pick up the guitar or the bass or the keyboard or whatever and just immediately play it exactly how it is, right? I can do it, I can hear it, and I can pick it up and play it, but it's going to sound like me doing it. It's not really going to sound like the person who originally did it most of the time. That's why I say I'm an artist, right? I'm a writer. I got into music because I was writing, not because I was singing even. I was writing lyrics, constantly writing. And I still write all the time. And I think it's important. It's important for me and for my soul and my spirit and my expression and my mind. But I'm an artist. That's what I am. I don't sit around and claim to be some highfalutin musical genius or something like that. You know what I mean? I'm just not. And if I am to somebody in their eyes, I'm just grateful that they think that way.
Well, yeah, there's going to maybe be a younger person that might look up to you and say,
Yeah.
holy shit.
Yeah.
Hey, so let me ask you this question. So when you're out on the street doing the road around here, gigs, are you doing a solo, a duo, a trio? You doing a full band? Like what are your productions out here? Like, you doing a little bit of everything?
Most commonly right now, it's solo
Okay.
and then trio.
So the solo stuff, are you doing originals there, or are you doing just covers like
I do both. I do
for the
both.
tourists, like on Siesta Key and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
I do both. And usually I won't, announce that it's an original song until either afterwards, just in case I see people be like, oh, what is this?
You know,
Which
it's so
luckily hasn't
funny.
happened, but
So we're so proud of our original that we announced it. We're like, yeah, listen to this. You're gonna love it. Like,
yeah. I always I opt to do it at the end of the song, and people are usually pretty receptive to that, and they're like, that was nice. That was your song.
You know what, John?
Like,
Down here, sometimes you'll have a sophisticated audience. Like, you'll have people down here that'll really attentively listen to you,
yeah,
and they'll say, hey, I want to buy your record, or I want to hear more. There are those people.
Yeah.
Then you got a lot of idiots that just want to hear,
Yeah.
basic 80s radio friendly stuff.
Yeah.
Which is fine. They
course.
want to get drunk and have
and have a good time. Yeah,
And that's a lot of times that's why we're paid, to be able to be those types of entertainers.
yeah, entertainers.
But
not
but
necessarily
the cool thing is, like,
artists.
Siesta Key, Oyster Bar, and like some of those places down there, you can get like a sophisticated audience at some point, and you can play your stuff, and I think it'll be appreciated.
Yeah, I can
You know what I'm
distinctly
saying?
tell you that is the case. I've had that be the case distinctly at Blase Cafe, at Siesta Key Oyster
Yeah.
Bar, and at Gilligan's. Those three places in particular draw an audience that generally will be like, play one of your songs. There's always like one of those guys.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I love
Let's
that.
hear what you got.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
a guy named Albert Donaldi.
Al Donati.
Yeah. I just met him for the first time last Sunday.
He's a
Or
nice dude.
a Sunday, a week ago. And really nice guy and a hell of a musician, man.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe. I'm like, how the hell do I not know about this guy? I've been living down here for.
He's quiet. He's very understated.
Well, he also only plays like the Village, and that's it. He doesn't like come around. There's other places.
Right. Yeah.
But now he's with Bobby, and they got this new band, and
I think he actually lives up in Pennsylvania.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, or he's from there. I think
Yeah.
he only spends a portion
But,
of the year here too.
You know, when somebody plays old school Clapton, it gets my attention.
Yeah,
You know, Let It Rain and all that kind of stuff.
nice.
So yeah, I really enjoyed him. But so I guess to answer the question or to make the statement, I should say, is that you're playing Siesta Key Village and people can come down there and they can hear your originals, with
Yeah.
a couple covers mixed in.
Probably the reverse. I
And-
would state it the other way. They can hear covers with some of my originals
Okay.
mixed in. Yeah,
Okay.
that's more what we do because that's really what we get hired to do is play stuff that people
Right.
are familiar with. Right,
And you'll always have
Familiarity
records for
is key.
sale while you're performing.
When I perform 99% of the time, I've
And
been
then
bringing them with
you
me.
also have what's your website? What's that?
jsantimusic.com. So
jsantimusic.com.
it's just JSANTI.
Right, that's your website.
Yeah.
And then what about your socials
Santi Music everywhere.
on Facebook?
On
Is
Facebook.
that easy when you got that?
Yeah, I was
Like,
fortunate to grab them.
Yeah, mine's jackedupband.com, and then I'm jacked up Sarasota,
Right.
and then even on Instagram, and you got to put like the underscore. And
Got it.
fucks
Yeah,
people
yeah.
up.
Yeah, I'm fortunate I grabbed them all really quickly.
What was the biggest show to the biggest audience you've ever done, year to date or your career?
Wow. I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, we played at Lucille's at BB King's Club
Nice.
in Times Square.
Yeah.
But that was my band, Johnny and the Bootlegs in New York City blues punk rock band. And there was a fat stacked room for that. But I don't know that was the biggest because what else have we done that's been
Any festivals? Any big things? Outdoor stuff?
no huge festivals. We just played the Buckingham Blues Fest
Nice.
down in Fort Myers. That was a blast.
I used to live down that way. Yeah.
That place is great. And
Yeah.
the owner of that place, Tommy Lee Cook, not only is he a great guitar player and has a really cool band and he owns the Buckingham Blues Bar, but he's just a bad motherfucker. You know, like,
You know, yeah.
I had a conversation with him beforehand and we kind of were like, what's going on here? Right. And then it was just like, you know what, man, I like you. You're more New York than even I am. And I'm from New York. And he's cool. He's just straight up. He gives it to you real. I like that.
Yeah.
So, that place is cool.
I like the blues for many reasons, but I also like people that are serious about the blues. Whether you're a performer or you're just an active listener,
Mhm.
like they really get into it, man.
Oh yeah,
You
it's
know?
a beautiful community.
People screaming out, testify, testify.
yeah.
So I lived in Fort Lauderdale and I lived in a high rise that overlooked the little intercoastal. So there was a bar that always had the annual Fort Lauderdale Blues Festival right there. So I was able to look at it from above my balcony and it was awesome. And then one year they got bigger and bigger and bigger. They had Buddy Guy played one time.
Nice.
And in fact, his protege now went on to be big now. What's that guy's name? Sullivan, right? Quinn Sullivan.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
He
so
was the guitarist that
you
played.
remember he had always had a little blonde guy with him.
Oh.
That kid grew up to be like a Joe Bonamassa thing.
Oh, cool. I didn't
You
know
know
that.
what I'm saying? Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
I saw Devin Allman of the Honey Tribe.
He's great.
But speaking of Joe Bonamassa, you ever had a chance to see him live?
I've never seen Joe Bonamassa live.
Dude,
No.
let me tell you something. As much as I love Clapton and all that crew,
Uh-huh.
grew up to that stuff, right? Cream, Clapton, Hendrix, right? Joe Bonamassa, when you see him in a proper theater with his band, it's just like it's a religious experience, man.
Oh, it's cool. I gotta
It's
check it out.
amazing.
Yeah, I've
He's
never
so
gotten to see him.
fucking good, dude.
I mean, I know that.
Just,
I know
he's a freak.
he's a monster. Yeah, he's been playing. He got lessons from Danny Gatton. That's crazy. That's like Danny Gatton. I mean, he's the what is he the most the greatest not famous guitarist of all time or whatever that title was, and like I've never heard anybody play guitar like that ever again, including Joe Bonamassa, and but to be able to learn from someone like that who had kind of such a quick short time where everyone was fixated and realized how amazing he was, which didn't honestly truly happen until after he died. That's phenomenal. He got to learn. He was like 12 years old or something, learning from Danny Gatton. It was like wild.
Real quick, rapid fire. Who are your top guitarists right now? Alive or dead?
John Frusciante, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Jimi Hendrix, and Freddie King. Do
Okay.
I have to have a fifth?
Why not? Throw a fifth in there.
I don't really know who the fifth
Is
is.
Clapton in that list at all? Jimmy Page?
Clapton's not on that list. Maybe Jimmy Page.
Is that because of your age? Because for an example, I was born in 65, so we grew up in the 70s to Clapton is God.
right?
That was the mantra.
I love Clapton. Don't get me
Right?
wrong.
So
but-
Clapton could never do wrong.
right.
But then there's a whole new generation of kids now that they don't.
I know the fifth is Prince. Easy.
So Prince is probably the most underrated guitar player.
he's literally one of the greatest.
Yeah.
You know,
That video will live forever, man. While my guitar gently weeps, it'll live forever.
the coolest is when he throws his
Yeah.
guitar up and it just doesn't come back down
Yeah,
at the
right.
end.
And then he walks off.
Like that's the artistry of Prince, though. Like,
And
he was
then
like,
during the song, he falls back, and his guy catches him. And
yeah,
puts him back
yeah,
up.
brilliant.
So
man.
they were interviewing one of the drummers for that show, and he says Prince was actually entertaining us, the other musicians.
yeah,
He was showing us what he can do.
yeah, makes
You know?
sense.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah.
No, that's amazing. So those are some great people, man. So man, so you know you're gonna have a lot of fun down here, dude. You're gonna meet a lot of interesting people. I'm gonna help you meet some people. I'll get you into some venues.
I
Man.
appreciate that because
I
I'm
can
a
make some
weirdo,
calls.
man. I found that I'm a little bit.
Do you prefer to
awkward,
be?
so-
Do you prefer to be the solo guy? Do you prefer to be the trio? Do you prefer to be in like a 5-piece?
So, oh yeah. So back to that question. The other thing that's kind of what I would prefer. My preference would actually be a 6-piece, where it's the trio, bass, drums, guitar.
So you
me,
and
I'm
Marcus is one
vocal.
of your guys, right?
Marcus is my dude. That's
Yeah,
my. That's
I met
my.
him.
He's like my brother,
Yeah,
and that's
nice guy.
Chris. Oh, I just hit the mic. My bad. And Chris Sussman, the bassist on the front, he's my brother too, but he just battled cancer, had half of his thyroid removed.
Oh my gosh.
Now he just had back surgery, had more melanoma potential removed. He's cancer free. We're really fortunate to have him be mostly healthy, but he's in the recovery process, and he's a badass, and he's doing a great job of just like
So he's still available to you to play.
he is
Okay.
when he's feeling good, you know. And
Cool.
we're taking it easy right now, not putting too much on his plate, so that he can focus on just
Yeah.
getting healthy. But those 3 guys plus the 2 girls who sang backups,
Xena.
Zena Brown and Sabrina McClanahan. And then I would love to have an organ player,
Johnny,
you know.
Johnny Hetherington.
John Hetherington's phenomenal. He's too busy and too cool for us.
So you're John Santi the fourth, John J. Santi the fourth. So looks like there's a John J. Santiago the third who play alto saxophone.
He does. And he has tremendous stage fright. And it was amazing that I was able to get him into the studio to request. It's a dream come true that he's on that song. And that's his favorite song of mine. And he always requests it anytime we play live. But we got him in there to play that alto saxophone solo, and he did a great job. It sounds awesome. And yeah.
Let's
pretty
talk
sweet.
about your thoughts on the current state of music. So music is like, it changed so much. I remember when I was in high school, the most refreshing thing that happened, because it was kind of a disco era came through there, then a new wave.
Mhm.
The Black Crowes came out.
Oh,
And when that
the
album
Black
came
Crowes.
out, and these were young men playing traditional blues.
Shake Your Money Maker.
Yeah, that was a classic album. In fact, many years later, it might have been a 30th anniversary.
Okay.
They toured, and I went and saw that tour.
Nice.
Because now the brothers are back together. You know, they had a
Yeah.
fallout. But the Black Crowes, to me, in my mind, they saved music. I mean, there was always the Stones, there was always Kiss, there was always those bands that were always going to be there. Aerosmith, and they went through changes, right? You know,
Yeah, yeah.
personnel changes, sound changes. You know, when Kiss played "I Was Made for Loving You," right? You knew that they took the bait, right?
Yeah.
And,
They took the
and
bait.
the Stones, you know, they did a couple disco songs, right?
Right. Yeah.
But what's your thoughts on music today with all the production and all the big Taylor Swift kind of events? Like, you know, what do
You know,
think? What are your
man,
thoughts?
I think that there's this one group that doesn't get enough cred in the real rock and roll world. And they did something so cool. Bill Withers, when Bill Withers came to his retirement, he didn't retire because he just felt like retiring. They would not, Warner Brothers, I think it was, would not allow him to have creative control over the final mixes of his music. They said that they would not sign him back if that was the case. And he said, fine, I retire then. Peace, right? Now, the Black Keys did a very similar thing. They said, we've made enough money. We don't need to sign back with you, Warner Brothers. So we're not going to, and we're going to leave, and we're going to start our own record labels. And both of them did that independently, and they still work together, and now they do their own thing, right? And I think they're a subsidiary, but they hold complete control of all their music. I think the Black Keys are phenomenal. I mean, and those guys, like, you know, they're heralding
Innovators, right?
Yeah, and they're heralding like Junior Kimbrough and those that area of the blues world too, that like they took a lot of inspiration from. And they're not huge. They're like me. They're artists. I don't think that they would sit there and be like, I'm a monster musician. Put me in with any jazz cat and I'll hold it down. You know what I mean? Like they would probably say the same type of shit that I'm saying right now, which is like, nah, I do what I do and I know how to do it because I care about it and I'm passionate about it. But I'm not like some musical whiz, you know? And that's what they do.
What are your
I
thoughts
love
on
it.
country music?
I like classic country music heavily. I never listened to it growing up. And then a couple years before I moved to Florida, my buddy Concion Franklin and Drew Jones, who are both amazing songwriters and artists too. One's from Arizona, one's from Tennessee. We all lived together and made music together in New York for about 3 years, 2 or 3 years. And they put me on to country music. And at that point, I started really getting into all the Hank Williams, all 3 of them. You know, obviously Johnny Cash and his more country root stuff, and same with Elvis, even. Not that they really put me onto that. But you know, just kind of going down Merle Haggard, and all these musicians are phenomenal and great songwriters.
When did it stop though? Did it stop with Garth Brooks? Because Garth Brooks took it to a different level, and some people loved it, some people hated it.
If I say what I think about Garth Brooks, my dear friend Jason White will find me in my sleep and murder me.
Jason White was on the show, you know that?
No, of course I
Yeah.
know. Yeah. I love Jason. He's great and he's phenomenal. And I'm just kidding. Garth Brooks is
Well,
phenomenal.
you know, I see Jason from time to time. He plays with my buddy Brian Bird.
Yeah.
And Brian Bird, you know, the Dirty Bird,
Yeah.
he sits in with us when we do some of the bigger shows. Like
Nice.
we bring him on because
Yeah.
he's just, you know, he's amazing.
He's a monster.
He's one of the best in the country.
He is probably the best. It's him or Robert Randolph.
Yeah,
It's like,
right?
yeah, they're both equally, they're right there, man. They're great. I love the way that Brian plays. But I don't know. I don't know when it ended. All I know is that right now, the only person really in the country world that speaks to me is Zach Bryan. I love him. I think he's an excellent songwriter.
What about Zach Brown?
It's not for me. I mean, I don't dislike it.
How would
but
you
like,
categorize his music though? Because he's
it's
kind
like
of pop country.
Yeah. We said it simultaneously.
And,
you
and he
know?
also, but he'll do it. He has an album of just classic rock covers that he does.
That's cool.
Like
I didn't
Baba
know.
O'Reilly and
I
like,
didn't know that. That's
yeah,
cool.
it's kind of cool. He
Yeah.
does War Pigs by Black Sabbath.
Nice. I gotta hear that. But yeah, and I wouldn't even say Zach Bryan's really country music though. I feel like it's closer to rock and roll
Yeah.
than it is country. Chris Stapleton, I love too, but he's almost like soul.
Yeah, but here's the thing about Chris Stapleton.
Blues country. You know?
He's hard to put in a category because first of all, he's a singer-songwriter and he's written a lot of hits for other people before he became famous.
Yeah.
And then there was a year that for 10 years in a row, every country music award, they're just calling his name, calling his name, calling his name.
It's because he's that good though.
He's
I mean,
amazing. I think his voice is probably one of the best voices.
Marcus King is right
Marcus
next
King.
to him
I
now.
saw Marcus King and Janice Live. He's amazing.
Yeah.
But you know who my female favorite voice is, man, right now? Susan Tedeschi.
She's great. She's phenomenal. Her with trucks is like
We
magical
cover
experience.
we covered It Hurts So Bad. We covered that song.
Nice.
And she gets so into it, dude. She like I close my eyes, I listen to Susan Tedeschi on my headset, and I think I'm in a different world, man, when I hear her. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
cool. Yeah.
Really. I mean, it's just like, and you know who had a great voice before he died? He got better with age, was Greg Allman.
Oh yeah.
Greg Allman's voice matured and got even better
I know.
before he got sick and died.
Which is outrageous because it
There's a
was old recordings.
I encourage the viewers to pull up something called Back to Macon. It's a DVD as well as a CD. And what it is, he went back to the original Macon Theater because you know he's buried in Macon, and they had lived there for a while. He's also Greg's has a history down here too. That's a
Of
whole
course, yeah.
That's a whole other
Him
story.
and Dickie.
Yeah, but he has this incredible voice, and he's playing with a bunch of younger musicians. And he takes his catalog, he does old stuff, newer stuff, his solo stuff. Just a really wonderful concert.
That's awesome. I want to check it out. Back to Macon.
Back to Macon. In fact, I was in
Marked.
Macon, Georgia a few times. Otis Redding was from there, you know.
Yeah.
And so the Allman Brothers have a museum called the Hill House.
Cool.
And apparently at one point they all lived there and had recorded, some of their early stuff. And then unfortunately, I guess Dwayne Allman and then Barry Oakley both passed away in that vicinity. Same thing, motorcycle accidents.
Right.
Like back to back. It was horrible. But on this show recently, we had Motorcycle Annie, Annie Haggerty. She was really, really tight with Dickie Betts. I mean, like we're talking about when Dickie Betts was writing songs in her living room
Oh, cool.
as a young man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because Dickie always had a connection down here, Osprey, Sarasota.
Okay.
But I think Greg eventually came to Bradenton, right? Greg had, and where you and I both recorded Bass Sound.
Yep.
Before it was Bass Sound, it was called something else.
Yeah.
And Greg used to be there all the time.
Why can't I remember? Yeah, that was Bud. It was Bud owned it
Yeah.
at that point. I can't remember the name.
Didn't
He
have an
used to say it all
Italian
the time.
name or something?
Yeah, it
Wasn't
was
some
like
Italian
a-
guy involved with that?
I don't know if there was an Italian guy. I've said it 10 million times. I can't believe I can't. It's like escaping me right now.
But the cool thing is that Sarasota, I mean, this is where I live, right? And play. It's just chock full of current musicians. I mean, I know so many drummers, so many bass players, so many guitar players. The Women Who Rock the Suncoast is my baby. I put that together.
Mm.
I got all like 24 of the best female singers together. And twice a year, they come and do a concert for charity.
Nice.
And we use the
That's
house
badass.
band. We use the house band at Idiot Live, and they're all great musicians.
At what live?
So 88 Live,
Oh, 88. Gotcha.
every Tuesday night they do jam night, house band.
Cool.
So they'll play and then people will come up and jam. And as a musician who gets a lot of work, I find it's not my place to ever go there and play. It's designed for people. People say to me, K-Rock, why don't you bring your bass and go? I'm like, no, dude, I don't, during the week, I don't
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to touch my guitar
Yeah, you're like, I want to
unless I have to.
chill. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm playing every week.
Yeah, I play for, I tried to just only play for pleasure during, I'm not playing.
It becomes a job. Now that thing is a tool. Like I love my guitars, man, and I like what I do, but it's work. Load in, set up, play, load out. It's like it's work. So like it's not as fun. I don't just pick up my bass when I'm sitting around watching American Idol and just, I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, I need time not to do this.
I feel
Now,
you.
if I played a 6-string, yeah, I probably would have.
Yeah,
I bet you
playing
in
all
your
the time.
house, you probably have a bunch of guitars all over the house. You can just grab one, right?
Well, I've been shacked up with mom and dad down here in Florida. Not that I have to be, but we have a good relationship. It's kind of like
So they let you play. And
coming back. Yeah, yeah. But I have my guitars.
is mom cooking you, making you a nice meal?
No. She's like, take care of it yourself. Not anymore. She's done.
My parents
She cooks once.
sold the house
she'll
in
cook every
Westchester
now
and
and
bought
then.
a house here.
Yeah.
In the Paradise. No, what's the name of the town? I forgot what it was called. Palmer Ranch.
Mhm.
And so I would always get a meal, and I didn't live with them, but I would always come over because I was in Lauderdale.
Nice. Do like a once a month or something like that.
Have you done Alligator Alley, a drive?
I did the drive once, but
It
not
kind
all
of
the
sucks.
way.
It kind of sucks.
I stopped just past out Everglades City and went to the Skunk Ape Research Center, and then I
What were you doing
was
there?
there. I was there for the Everglades Roots Music Festival. I wasn't
Wow.
playing; I was just enjoying it. It was the first year I was down here, and it was really cool. And yeah, it was actually
You know what,
one of the
John?
coolest, yeah.
Between so Collier County, Lee County, right? Charlotte, Sarasota, Manatee. Those are the 5 counties. And you're going to find so many guys like us from New York, New Jersey, Connecticut that are down here.
Yeah.
Because in the old days, everybody went to Lauderdale and Boca, right? And they got sick of that. So now, this was always Midwest, like 75. People would take 85, 75 and come all the way down on the West Coast, whereas our world, we were 95 going down the East Coast.
Yeah.
But now it's changed. When you start seeing people moving down here, man, you're seeing New York plates, you're seeing Pennsylvania plates, Connecticut plates, Jersey. So there's a lot of guys like us. And it's funny because you keep seeing places keep popping open like authentic style New York this, New York that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Have you
Which
been
is
to
always
Naples?
the worst.
Have you been to Seed the Table at Naples?
No, no.
So Seed the Table is bizarre. It's cool as fuck, but it's bizarre. It's a full-time market where they have a section of hot food, a section of cold food, a pizzeria, a deli, a meat place, seafood, like, kind of like that. But then upstairs they have a nightclub
Oh,
and they do live music at night. And they
That's
bring
cool.
in really good bands. Like they had a Kiss tribute band, man. They, with makeup and all that shit.
Oh, cool.
And there was all the young people because there's really no young people in Naples, but
Right.
they all show up for that.
But all 47 of them were there that
Yeah.
night. Yeah. That's cool.
You know,
That's wild. Yeah, I've been to Naples, and I can definitely attest to what you're saying. But I've never seen that place. See the Table.
it's called Seed the Table. I think it's a standalone store.
Okay.
The guy that owns it's like this huge, Republican conservative guy, and he's a Trump guy, and he always has like signs out, and people come, and it's like a Costco, but it's not cheap though. But everything's fresh,
Yeah.
and it's manicured and it's perfect and pristine. So like you can go order a steak and eat a steak. Like they'll cook you a steak right there.
Cool.
It's that kind of market,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
So what are some of your favorite restaurants around here? What do you like to eat at?
My favorite restaurants around here. I don't know. That's a great question. I mean, I love Brick Smoked Meats. I can tell you that.
Yes.
I
Very
play
good.
there every Thursday night.
Okay.
And
Good to know.
I play there solo, but it is a standing gig that I've had. It'll be coming up on 3 years.
I'll have to come
now.
see you there, man.
Yeah, it's great.
I'll get my smoked wings.
Oh my God, they're delicious. And their ribs, St. Louis style ribs are banging. This was just my father's birthday, so we had a big crew of people there this past week. And
They got you inside or outside?
I'm inside. But
Is there like a garage door there?
yeah, the garage door's open, so I'm
Yeah.
right there underneath literally the door. So I'm like in and out, but the speaker's facing it. So and I love Bricks. I mean, that's definitely I'll go out of my way for that barbecue. Honestly, I spend a lot of time at the Summer Tap Juice Bar.
Never been there.
Summer Tap Juice Bar. If you like juice, I like fresh pressed juice. And I actually love an acai bowl, like with like granola and
Look
fruit.
at you, all healthy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just a thing over there. Like, I'm not like a vegetarian or a vegan or any of that. Like, a lot of vegan people will go to the juice bar. I just like it. It's delicious, and it doesn't like fill me up to the point where I'm like, oh God, you know? So I'll spend a lot of time at the juice bar. Summer Tap Juice Bars is delicious. It's always super fresh. Where I could say that some of the best Italian I had in town was at Vino Vino. Small little
Sure.
spot, delicious. I love that joint. I love Isan Thai. Love Thai food. I'll go out of my way for mouth hole burgers in
Yeah,
in,
I
in
agree.
Gulf Gate.
The owners were on the show.
But they're
Yeah,
cool as hell.
Ray and Nikki.
Yeah, they're so
He
nice.
puts out a great product, dude.
It's
So on Friday they have
outrageous.
something called cheesy beef. It's his version of a Philly cheesesteak.
I've heard. I haven't had
And
it yet.
the only problem is that he's so successful now that now us regulars that helped him, get to where he is, we got to wait online. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nobody
Yeah.
want to wait online, man. Not after all that
But
time.
the traditional New York City breakfast for me was I'd come up from Grand Central and I get my bacon, egg, and cheese on a Kaiser roll and like a Hershey chocolate milk. That was like the go-to New York City breakfast.
Dude, I sent you that link the other day. The best Kaiser roll I
B&G?
found down here, place B&G. I haven't even been there, but
What
my
city
cousin
is
went
it?
down and got it for my dad for his birthday. It's either Port Charlotte or Northport. I forget. It's one of those ports though. And those Kaiser rolls are the best. They're the only ones that taste like real Kaiser rolls. You know what I mean? Like they're legit.
Do you remember Arthur Avenue, man?
Of course.
So
Yeah.
my mother used to make me take her there.
Right by Fordham
And
University.
the bread was so delicious
Mhm.
that you could just eat the whole entire loaf on the way home.
Yeah.
Without any butter or oil. Just eat it.
Perfect.
It was perfect, And
Yeah.
then she would buy her cucumbers because she liked to make her own pickles and stuff like that, the kosher salt.
Nice.
But yeah, we would go down there and we just load up.
Yeah.
And then when I was working in Manhattan and on the advertising world, I would take my clients from out of town down to Puglia's, down to Little Italy,
Hell yeah.
because they loved it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like so much fun because they weren't used to it. And you sit at a long table and the guy comes out, basically tells you what you're going to eat.
Right.
Another great place, if you can get in, is Rayo's.
Rails.
Yeah. So Rayo's is up in like the Harlem area.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it's one of those places where it's a private supper club. So
Mm.
you only get in if you really know somebody and then you only get seated at the very end of the night. Cause like, let's say if I was a movie star, I would own a table. So I would dictate who could sit at that table. That was
Cool.
my table.
That's wild.
And then I can make a phone call. So yeah, John Santi's coming in with his crew. He can have my table.
Very cool.
So we go in there. I've been there twice because I was new people who knew people. Jim Carrey, I saw him.
Nice.
Some other some actors on The Sopranos.
Nice.
Now, I don't know if it's still open.
Right.
This was years ago.
Yeah. COVID destroyed a lot of that kind of.
And then there's Patsy's Pizza on First Avenue, world famous Patsy's. Patsy Lancieri.
Yeah.
My best friend is his grandson.
Oh, nice.
So he grew up. We used to go down there as kids and put the Pennsylvania coal in the oven,
Mhm.
and it would get so hot. And these pie guys with these long paddles, they would come and they would jockey those pies around because in 3 minutes that thing was fucking
I
done.
bet. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you had to keep track of what was going on.
Yeah.
That's the shit. I don't think there's any coal places down here. You got wood, you got electric, maybe brick, but there's no coal.
Yeah,
Coal is
that's it.
dangerous. Apparently, certain restaurants in New York got grandfathered in so that they can keep them. But A, it's dangerous, and B, apparently it's bad for the environment.
Well, so is cow farts apparently.
So what do you do when you're not playing music or eating good food? What
Oh
else you doing?
man, I still book a venue in Brooklyn.
Let's tell us about that.
Yeah, it's a place called Heart Bar, and I used to be the general manager for a legendary space called Webster Hall in the East Village.
I've been there
Yeah,
many years ago.
yeah, it was the Ritz
Yeah,
in the 80s.
who I saw there. Do you remember a band called the Spin Doctors?
Of course I do.
Yeah, I saw
of
them
course.
there.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I saw so much music in that place for almost 8 years every night. I worked my ass
That
off.
must have been a great job, though. It must.
It
Have been
was
fun as hell.
crazy. Yeah, it was great. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work. It was a lot of good times.
Was it profitable?
It was, it's New York City. New York City's New York City.
I mean, the rent is
The
huge.
rent was, yeah, I did not walk out of New York City with a good bank account, if that's the question.
Right.
So, but that was a great gig, and I learned a
So
lot.
you were managing that. So you were dealing with the entertainment.
Yeah, I got to shake Tom Petty's hand.
Wow, how
Got
cool is
to
that, man?
Meet Lenny Kravitz, which
And you-
apparently
and you-
is something that doesn't happen.
You were still playing, so you were playing guitar at that point.
Yeah.
You were doing your thing.
Yep.
And then that was your job. That was
Yep.
your
Yeah,
Yeah, day
I
job.
spent way more time doing that than I did making music
Right.
for those years. But
You have any good stories to tell us from those days?
I have plenty good stories, but most of them should not be shared publicly.
Any PG?
But I can tell you that I was there and I was working the list this is when I first started for Green Day. Green Day put on a Halloween show, a Halloween party in the smallest portion
I
of
was
the
going to say,
venue.
how many people can go into Webster Hall? What's the capacity?
So it was 4 floors. I don't know if you realize there was the studio at Webster Hall was the basement level, and that was a 450 capacity room. Great sound system, great room. That was
I must
open
have been in the
7
main
nights.
hall. Was I in the main hall?
The main hall is 1,500 people. That's upstairs.
Okay.
That's called the Grand Ballroom.
Okay.
And then there was the Marlin Room, which was actually like it was between the two. So the studio's down here, the Grand Ballroom's up here, and the Marlin Room is like it's
Only
not,
in New
it's
York would
not
they do
quite,
shit like that.
Yeah, it's just above street level, right? And this place had been there since 1886. It's not like a new building by any means. And the Marlin Room was a 700 capacity room. Grand Ballroom was 1,500, and the basement was 450. So Green Day says, we want to throw a secret Halloween party in the studio, in the 450 capacity room. When I tell you, I haven't even been in some saunas that were as hot as that room got with that many. We packed so many people in there. But I'm working the list, right? And the funniest part is I'm working the list, and this dude comes in and he goes, he gives me his name. He's like Brandon Connolly or something stupid, right? And I looked at his face and he's got black and white makeup on. I looked at his face again and I was like, that's not your name. And he goes, shh. And I'm like, just go in. You're good. You don't need to tell me on this. He's like, all right, thanks, bro.
Who
It
was
was Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And I'm like, I know who you are.
He wanted
And
to go
he's-
in incognito, huh?
Yeah, and he went in, and then they wound up partying in the green room together after the show.
Sure.
You know, and like he was there.
So
and,
did you ever have Did you have a show on every floor in the course of an evening at the same time?
Sometimes,
Yeah, because that's insanity.
and not
And
just
then how many bathrooms did you have?
the bathrooms were always an issue. Let's not talk about the bathrooms, but because we had bathrooms on the bottom floor, bathrooms on the ballroom floor, and only like 2 bathrooms on the main floor. But so what we would do is we would have early shows, right? And we worked in tandem with the Bowery Presents for my first number of years, and then we took over booking on our own. So we would have a show in the studio that would start at 5 or 6 o'clock doors, right? And that show would be going until 11. And then we'd flip it over and we'd have a DJ that would start. Like we'd get the bands off, load out, get the DJ set up, and then have a new show going on. We would have a show upstairs in the Grand Ballroom simultaneously that would start at 5 or 6, and that show would be going till 11. And then we'd have them load out too out the front door. Now this whole time that's happening on the top floor,
Obviously, there's an elevator up there.
there's no elevator when
Oh
we
my
when we were
God.
there. They've put elevators in since it was bought by AG Barclays Center, and they have changed the inside
Yeah.
of this
But
building.
low now with no
entirely.
elevator, that's insanity.
You have no idea. We had a crew of like 20 guys that were lugging these
Yeah,
things
man.
up all the road cases up and down the stairs. And those dudes were badass. They were cool as hell. And Paul Monahan, who's now the production coordinator at the Capitol Theater up in Port Chester,
Yeah.
he was our guy. And between him and my buddy Larry Schachter, Anthony LaSala, we had a crew of guys called the Momos, and they just kicked ass and they were great. So this is cool. Studio, Grand Ballroom going on early shows, right? At 10 p.m., the nightclub opens. This is what happened every Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. And mostly fall and spring, where this particular scenario would happen. Like January, February, and then July and August were slow months in New York, you know? So we'd have both these things going. You could have 1,500 to 2,000 people upstairs in the ballroom that we'd pack in, and we'd have another 400 downstairs in the basement. And then we'd start bringing the nightclub at 10 p.m. while these shows are sort of coming to their close. And we'd bring in anywhere from 700 to 1,100 people.
Mostly younger people at this hour at the dance.
Yeah. And then we'd have a line around the block onto 3rd Avenue because we were on 11th Street. And then we'd have a line around the block, and we'd have 20 security guards out front with all the gates. And
Holy
then,
shit.
yeah, it was wild experience, bro. So then we'd bring them in, and then we'd load everything out of this side because we'd bring them in the back door, and then the main marquee door, we'd loading everything out the main marquee door and bringing out the studio show.
So how many
And then-
guys would come to the front door and be like, hey, man, I know Jay Santi, man. Let me
Oh
in.
my God, my buddy John Mato still has me labeled, and he was a bartender and a show producer with us, and he still has me labeled in his phone as John San Diego. Because this dude came up to him one day. He goes, I know John San Diego. And he tells his story to everybody. I know John San Diego. You got to let me in. He's like, oh, John San Diego.
That's funny.
You know, and like, so he still got me in there. But yeah, people would do that all time. And even last night I was playing at Pops, right? In Venice. This is stuff you learn from situations like that. Some guy comes up to me, he goes, hey man, we need to change the speakers. I said, I'm sorry, do you work here? And he goes, oh, I'm the owner. I'm sorry. I'm Joe. I'm the owner. And I'm like, all right, yeah. Okay, cool. So he kind of walks away, and then I go over to the bartender. I go, hey, is that guy over there the owner? And she goes, oh yeah, that's Joe. He owns the place. I was like, oh shit. All right. You know, because like the amount of times that I've had this experience where
Yeah.
people will say anything to
Bullshit.
get you to do what they
Right.
want you to do,
Right.
you know? And I'm like, whatever, man.
You
Like,
know what
so
I
don't
think,
pay
though,
much
dude?
attention.
As we get ready to wrap up here, man, you got some really good stories. I'll have to have you come back another day. But you should own your own club down here, dude, or run your own club down here.
I mean, that part of my life, I'm not opposed to that idea or like against it, but you know, I'd like to partner with somebody and not have to be the guy that's there like I was
Sure.
in New York. I was there.
Well, yeah,
I ran the place.
That's
and
a
I
young
was
man's
like,
job.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to
Yeah.
impart my years of experience and have a place that could be I would love to have a nice hub and house for music in Sarasota. I feel like it's not really here for the local scene.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring you. I know you work a lot, but when you're off one night, I'll bring you to meet the owners of Encore Live
Cool.
because that's a proper rock bar now. They
Yeah, I haven't been there yet.
They
I've
took
heard
over
great things.
Joyland, which was country, and they made it a rock bar.
I hear great things.
And they're putting a lot of money into it. They're bringing in good bands, local bands, regional bands, and the national tributes.
very cool.
So we played there once, and hopefully we'll be back soon. But wonderful sound system. They got the big LED screen behind you,
Cool.
so you know and it's fun. But all right, John. Well, listen,
That's
man,
great.
we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks for coming in. The album's out. Everybody can go ahead and purchase this album. They can either go to your website,
Mhm.
or they can come to one of your shows
Which they can find the schedule right on my website.
on the website. Where are you playing tomorrow?
What's today?
Monday.
I'm actually in Bradenton Beach tomorrow,
Okay.
3 to 7 on the rooftop of Daiquiri Deck.
How great is that?
It's one of the coolest
This weather's been
spaces.
fantastic lately, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been beautiful. And playing up there is really, aside from lugging all the equipment up there, playing up there is a blast. It's
Yeah.
really a lot of fun, and I've had really great crowds that enjoy what's going on.
And I want to
so-
thank you for coming to see Jacked Up Friday night. It was a nice.
Hell yeah, man.
Nice. It was a pleasure to meet you face to face.
Yeah, likewise.
And
Likewise.
and yeah, even when you said to me, I said, "Oh man, I didn't expect to see you." You had done an earlier show, and usually you're not available
right. Yeah.
to go out because a lot of our shows are like 7 to 11 or 8 to midnight, so it's hard to catch other bands.
Yeah.
But this weekend I'm off, so
Nice.
I'm going to try my best to get out and see some of my friends.
Oh yeah, man.
All right, John.
Absolute pleasure.
Thanks, man.
Thank you,
Thanks for
brother.
coming on.
Yeah.
All right. Today's sponsor is Encore Live, Sarasota Bradenton's #1 destination for live entertainment.